I was always messing around. Like, I was never serious. I was always loud. I was like really irritating. Doing my attitude, like it got to the point where I was like, Dad, you gotta change. Like, you seriously gotta change, because as soon as this lockdown's up and I go outside, I'm about to actually get beaten up. Like, it got to that. I just know I'm about to get really hot. Oh my god, if my camera wants to focus. I'm gonna come close so you can hear me, because for some reason in my last video the audio was just so awful. I don't know why, but it was. But anyways, as I said, I'm doing a completely different video to any of my usual content, and this is something I actually have been planning on doing. Sorry, I've got like hair on my lip. I've been planning on doing it for so long, because I'm so passionate and just like so all about it. You know, I'm about this life, and I want to share it and talk to you guys on how you can do it, because it's so easy. There's a little bit of a stigma, I don't really know. In my opinion, I think there is, especially from like my day-to-day life. Like, it's kind of hard to be like romanticizing life when, you know, you're just like not in the environment for it. Like, I don't live in a posh area. I haven't got like tons and tons of money. I'm just kind of doing it just to make life feel better for me, and how I've leveled up in that sort of way. So yeah, if you haven't read the title already, this is the romanticizing life era. Do you know what I mean? This is how to romanticize life 101 as a broke teenager, basically. Getting out of all of the bad habits and creating better habits. I don't really know how to explain it, but I've got loads of points on my notes to go through, and I'm excited. So let's start. So the first thing I want to say is, what is romanticizing life? Well, what is romanticizing life? Romanticizing your life means taking the time to appreciate your day-to-day life, no matter how mundane some parts might be. So that's what the definition of romanticizing life means. It's basically just making everything you do in your life, no matter how big or small it is, like it's a movie. Making it seem like it's better than what it is. Like, I get up and, I don't know, make a cup of tea. Anybody can get up and make a cup of tea. But are you using a nice mug? Like, even if it's normal tea, that's not like the point. I'm just saying, like, are you using a nice mug? Like, do you get what I mean? I don't know, that's something basic, but then it can just make your day feel so much better. The domino effect, right? So if you wake up and you make yourself a cup of tea, you still got to go to school that day or whatever, but one good thing can just lead to so many other good things. So if you like start your day off in the right way, it'll just make you happier for the rest of the day. And if it's a rainy day in school, why can't you romanticize that, link it to one of your favourite films, or like pretend? It sounds weird, it sounds really like, girl, are you on pills? Do you know what I mean? But make it seem like you're in a movie. I don't know, like, not fantasize, because I'm not saying like go to school and pretend like your teacher's your next boyfriend, but like, I mean, if that's what you do, it's fine. But do you know what I mean? Just like fantasize about it, and like make every situation better than what it is. If you're sitting in maths and it's raining and you don't have no clue what's going on, I'm not saying put your AirPods in, right? Listen. But if you really don't know what's going on, put your AirPods in and listen to some like vibey music and just kind of romanticize the vibe, and then you'll like start to enjoy little things like that. You'll be looking forward to next lesson, because you know you're gonna sit there and be all up in your head. Do you know what I mean? Okay. I put how it is so much more than showing off. So there's a difference between showing off and being not like full of yourself. There's a difference between all that and romanticizing your life on social media. I would say lots of people do like to say that I like to show off all my nice things, blah blah blah. I don't care, kiss my bum. But there's a difference between that and romanticizing it. Like, if you follow me on Instagram or my TikTok, yes, I like to make sure everything looks nice, because I mean, who doesn't? If you're not like that, it's a bit strange. But like, of course I want to make sure if I'm going to post something on social media, I'm going to make sure it looks nice. and I'm gonna make sure it's aesthetic. I'm gonna make sure it's a vibe, make sure it kind of fits the mood. So it's more than showing off. It's kind of just making it. Hello? Where's Mum? Where's
on your way? Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Oh my god, Dad! I'm literally filming a video, man. Okay, sorry about that, guys. There was a real big family announcement and I had to go, but I'm back. I know, I'm really happy. I could say, but I just can't be bothered because this is not the right video. Maybe next video, subscribe and you'll find out. Anyways, I don't know what I was saying, but if I was still on the track of it's more than showing off. I've already said, I literally put here, you can romanticize life about absolutely everything. I actually have some examples. Imagining you're your favourite character from a TV show or movie to give yourself confidence. So, me, that's like, it depends what scenario I'm in. Like, when I'm studying, like when I'm revising, which is never. But when I do revise, I literally put on Spotify. I'll lead back to music in a bit, but I literally put on Spotify, I put study like Rory Gilmore, and it just has a lovely playlist. I'll literally link it down below, it's so good. But there's so many good like study playlists on that, like literally study like Rory Gilmore. And then when I was going through my euphoria phase, every time I'd be getting ready, like doing my makeup, and when I first watched Euphoria, I was going through a really hard time. And when I used to get ready and do my makeup, I literally put on POV, You're Maddie, what's her name again? Maddie Perez? Yeah, something like that, I don't know. POV, You're Maddie. And it just made me feel bad. So like little things, like, and that's not fully pretending you're that character, but that's like implying that and like implementing that into your day-to-day life. It just makes me feel better. Or if I'm in a sticky situation, at school, I just kind of like, or out, I just kind of like embody a different personality. It sounds really, really weird, but it's just, I don't embody a different personality. I'm always myself and I'm always authentic, but that's kind of how I keep myself authentic, is being the best version of myself, even if that means taking characters I've watched and enjoyed watching and thinking what they would do. I don't know. Enjoy the bad weather at school. That's another one. This is really hard, right? I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too good at this because I cannot wake up in the rain. I can't do it. But once I do and I'm in school, I have like this huge green coat and I love it. And every time I put that on, I have my AirPods in. It's just such a vibe. Like a rainy day at school in the winter can sometimes be a vibe. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But it is. It's quite cool. Right, this is one that is on this list I found online. It's just like join clubs that you think you would fit your aesthetic or whatever. Like, I don't know. Personally, when I started, I'm not saying when I started romanticizing life, but when I decided to come out of my shell a little bit, just be me, I was like, I'm gonna join clubs. And I was joining clubs. I was literally doing everything. Somehow, like, if you told me in year 7 I was gonna be a part of like People Voice, I probably would have laughed in my own face. Like, I would be like, right, you're embarrassing yourself. I don't even care now. Like, I've got such a better life as soon as I started like coming out of my shell. Guys, get me a podcast because I can tell you all about how I've evolved. Because honestly, I just feel like I've grown so much, not height wise. I have grown so much, and I just really think it's thanks to like not romanticizing life. What's the right word to put it? Just enjoying life a little bit more and caring about little things, and it changes you. It changes you. We all do it, but we don't realize it. This is something I think is true. We all, not all, I'm not speaking for everyone, but a lot of people, I think, do romanticize their life, but they don't realize it. That was me at first. I was like, what am I doing? Why am I like taking pictures of little random things? Like, I'd find myself walking and it was like a sunset or like I'll take that for example. A lot of people like to post the sunset, and I know it can be linked to like a loss of somebody, and I relate, but even if it's just like the night sky, or like you take a picture of something that looks aesthetic, that's romanticizing life. I'm just trying to tell you like how simple it can be. Like you could be doing it, but you just don't know it. And I feel like once you know it, you're gonna keep doing it, and you're really gonna start seeing an improvement. Because that was me. Like my cousin used to be like, Tad, you're just so visco. You're such a visco girl. She would say that I'm just like I'm a visco girl, and I'm just like all of a sudden living this aesthetic posh girl. What's that thing that it girl? You're that girl, that sort of thing. And I was like, and then I came across romanticizing life and acknowledge it. So that basically means after we all do it, but you never realize it, that once you've acknowledged it, don't be ashamed, keep romanticizing your life, because it makes your life 10 times better. Like, you never get bored. Okay, back to the whole, it's not always about showing off things and looking at things. It's all in your head. Like, romanticizing life is literally a mental game. Like, do you ever get that feeling that if you could make your life into a movie, what scenes would you keep in and what scenes would you take out? And if you're taking out more scenes than you would keep in, then maybe that's a way to change. And when I say it's all in your head, I'm basically just saying that if you're going to romanticize your life, you've got to romanticize every single little piece of it. Like, oh, I'm getting deep. I'm getting really deep. Before you go to bed, when you wake up, how are you doing it? Are you doing it the way that you know you should be doing it? Not even should be doing it, the way you want to do it. Like, if you could picture, right, okay, since I'm talking to teenagers now, if you're older than 10, but I'm talking to teenagers. Since we're teenagers right now, when you look at yourself in 25 years, all my girlies out there, and boys, but in 25 years, how are you waking up? Like, I'm guessing you want to be successful. How are you waking up? Are you waking up in like a high-rise apartment in London, Manchester? Or are you waking up in a more quiet suburban area? Like, however you want to do that, if you can envision it, you may not be there now, but if you start like acting like it, it sounds so strange, but if you start like acting like it, or just caring more for your morning routine or like your night routine, it'll just make you excited to go home and do that night routine. Like, when I'm out sometimes with my friends, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be going home in like 20 minutes, but I know I'm not going to be bored when I get home, because I'm going to have a nice bath, I'm going to wash my face, I'm going to do my skincare routine, I'm going to listen to a playlist, and I'm going to watch this movie, and I'm going to make this when I get home to eat. Do you know what I mean? So having something like that, that's literally romanticizing life. I can't stress how simple it is, but just nobody knows, and people just think I'm weird because they're like, Tad, why'd you just like act like a 30-year-old? Like, that's literally what my mate says to me, Lexi. She's never watches my videos, so I doubt she's watching it, but if you are, Lex, you know you say it to me all the time, I act like a 25-year-old woman, but at the same time I'm the funnest person to be around. Take it or leave it, right? But I'm absolutely hilarious when you get to know me, but that's besides the point. So yeah, it's all in your head, it's a mind game, and if you can just make a clear pattern for yourself every day, it's a breeze. I got when did it start for me, but okay, I'm literally going to take 2 minutes to explain this because I want to start getting over to the tips. Believe it or not, when I was from the ages, since literally I was younger, but it's from the ages of like 11 to about 14, I was a stereotypical, I'm not throwing these words out there, like, I'm being careful, but I was like a stereotypical chav. And I argued. I was a mouthy girl, so mouthy, it was ridiculous. I had a mouth like, I don't even know, I was just so lippy, and I never fought because I was a mouthy girl, and as soon as somebody said they would fight me, for some reason they just said no, because I guess I just acted like I was hard, but I wasn't. I never had a fight. I was always messing around. Like, I was never serious. I was always loud. I was like really irritating, and I found myself losing friends because I was just so annoying, and I just argue with all my friends. And I was like in the first lockdown, I was like, that was the kind of the peak when it got really bad. Like, my arguing, my attitude, like it got to the point where I was like, Dad, you've got to change. Like, you seriously got to change, because as soon as this lockdown's up and I go outside, I'm about to actually get beaten up. Like, it got to that point. I was like, right, I got to change right now. So during like the second lockdown, when I went back to school in year 9, I was still a bit but then I was like, then I started just changing. So I started like watching more YouTube. I got back into making YouTube videos. Like, when I was doing like my room tour, I'll insert like this time I was doing like room tours. I was changing my room around. I was lighting candles. I just found myself getting into a weird like pattern. I was like, what is going on? And that's kind of it. That's when it started. And then ever since like the second, third lockdown, ever since 2021 to now, I've been on a whole self-care, self-love, romanticizing my life journey. Before I end the video, I'm going to put some tips on how I romanticize life, and how I think how you can start romanticizing your life, like actually how to. Because I'm sitting here talking, it's a mental game. How am I supposed to put like some sort of, how am I not going to hypnotize you is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to give you tips. So tip number 1 is make a Spotify playlist for everything. I did this before. I did a video, and it was songs I consider perfect, and it didn't get that many views at all, but I liked that video. And I have so many playlists for different things. Like, I understand I'm not saying I have like 20 million playlists. I do have that one playlist which is just full of rubbish. Like, it's just not rubbish, really good music, but just full of it. I have like a 84-hour playlist, I don't even know, on Spotify. But on my Apple Music, I think I have the most. So I've got like songs I consider perfect, nostalgic, pump time, that's for the gym. So yeah, that's it. Make a Spotify playlist for everything. Link a song to every scenario. Like, if you was to tell me, like, what's a really good song that makes you excited for summer, and I'll tell you any Kendrick Lamar, or like I'll tell you J. Cole, like, and that's how I romanticize summer. If I think of summer, I'm gonna start listening to that. So that's tips, like, you get me. And if you're saying give me a hot girl song, I'd be like, put on some Jenny Aiko, like, because she's a hot girl but she's also like really good. Or just put on some like, I don't know, Meg Thee Stallion, do you know what I mean? Like, the list goes on. And then if you're like, what you want to listen to in the gym, I'm like, Goosebumps. So then, this is one of my highly favorites. Scent. Have a signature scent. It doesn't even have to be just one. It could be like for the fall. It could be for like the, it doesn't have to be just one. It could just be for like autumn. It can be for like summer. It could be for like winter. Or it could be for like, right, if I'm going out on a fancy evening, I'll put this on. But if I'm going out for the day, I'll put this one. When I'm going to school, I'll have this one. You know, when you see that one person that just smells good and they always wear the same perfume, the next time you smell that spray, you smell that just out, you're instantly going to be reminded of that person. And that's kind of what you want to do for yourself. You want to be that person that has that amazing scent and aura that whenever anybody else smells it, they'll immediately think of you. Perfume is also really good. One of my favorites is like Good Girl by Carolina Herrera. I mean, who doesn't talk about that? Twiddly by Hermes, and like Misty, or like anything. But then I actually bought a new one. Those are expensive ones. Literally, Bare Vanilla by Victoria's Secret. Change your room. If you have a really bland room that doesn't express much, if it doesn't show who you are, change it. I haven't got my face all over my walls, but I've got inspirations. Like, I absolutely love Dior. It's my favorite brand. I absolutely love it. And I've got a Dior poster. I'm not saying like that shows who I am, But I also absolutely love Audrey Hepburn. She's the... I'm a weirdo, okay? I watch black and white movies, and I'm like, guys, I got friends. I got a boyfriend. Don't need one. But I'm still cared about. Even though I watch black and white movies, I absolutely love Audrey Hepburn. So she's there. I love playing piano. It's right here. And I love my makeup. It's right there. Do you know what I mean? Like, make sure everything you love is there. And make sure your room shows who you are. And that's what I did in my room. I absolutely love to read. So I didn't hide my books. I put them up on display. So, you get me. Make a photo album on your phone of, like, random things. Like, I take pictures of random things. I was at a party the other day and I was taking pictures of the drinks table. Like, I love it. I took a picture of my birthday cake. Like, I take a picture of food. Just really start to, like, see the beauty in a lot of normal things. And I hate it when I'm, like, whipping out my phone to take a picture of something and somebody's like, what's that? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, guys, it's cool. It's memories. It means something. It looks cool. Do you know what I mean? It could be for any reason. Just romanticize it, you know? Mum's now on the phone, so I'm gonna have to dip because you're gonna hear it. But yeah, I love you all so much. Take it easy. Bye. Mwah.